Hello everybody, Graz here, Graz World of Gaming, and we're on Action PC Baseball. And we are going to do the 1987 regular season for the pros. This was a year where the Tigers were the best team in baseball and then lost to a far inferior team in the Twins, and then the Twins went on to win the World Series. So, only goal is to stop that from happening somehow. No Twins. No Twins. Anyway, we're just going to do the regular season. We're not going to do the postseason this time around. All right, 88 or 87. We'll have the bat for the first month. We'll have the batting highlight thing here to look at over here on the side. Let me just just adjusting here. Hope that's okay. Want everybody to be able to see everything that we want them to see. Wow. Sorry about this, everybody. This, I guess that's just going to be the view. If you want to see anything closer, just zoom in. So we're going to play April and see what happens. Today's video is brought to you by water. H2O. Drink it or die. I should name this video Anybody But the Twins. Oh, and I'm not following what real life did. If the Cubs finish in last place and Andre Dawson has the numbers to be the MVP for the Cubs, he won't be my MVP. Just not going to happen. An MVP shouldn't be on a last place team, because if the definition of most MVP is most valuable player, so that means they helped their team do the most. So what happened? So okay, if you pick a player from the last place team and they're the MVP, where did they help their team go? If they're gone, what is the team going to be further in last place? I mean, it's ridiculous to give an MVP to the last place team. It's just how I feel. Now, if they're in contention or over 500, then sure. I remember for a long time the records for April were 11 home runs and like 31 RBIs. So, looks like we got a couple of people maybe chasing those numbers over here. Carney Lansford has 7. Darryl Strawberry has 21 for runs batted in. You know what's crazy about Darryl Strawberry? I think it was even in 1991 or 1992 or something, he was on pace to break Hank Aaron's career home run record. And then he started strawberrying. So that's kind of funny. All right, April is done. Let's go take a look at some numbers, shall we? So NL East, the Pirates are 13-6. Real life winners, Cardinals are 9-11. In the West, holy cow, the Astros are 13-8. In the American League East, real life winners, the Tigers are 13-8, and the Brewers are 14-7. And in the West, the Twins are 10-11. That fits. And California is 15-8. Through April, we have, this is just the American League. Let's go both. We have 4 players hitting 400 or higher. Chet Lemon, Cal Daniels, Ray Knight. Is that Ray Knight? Yep, for the Orioles. And then Pete Incaviglia. Dale Murphy and Carney Lansford with 9 home runs lead the way. Dale Murphy and Andre Dawson lead the way in runs batted in with 23. Tony Gwynn and Vince Coleman each have 12 stolen bases. For the record, the Cubs are 12-8. Mike Scott is leading the National League, is tied for the Major League lead in wins with 5. He leads the major leagues in strikeouts with 43. He's not on the ERA list for both leagues. If you put it to just the National League, that's the American League. Dummy. He's not on that either. So, but they're giving the Major League MVP to Danny Jackson from the Royals. So, all right, that was April. Let's go. Oh, right. Back out of that. Reports. League. Hitting streaks. Dave Winfield has the longest with 13, but Greg Brock has a current 12. So, nice start. All right, let's do May. Beat the Twins. Beat the Twins. Watching this, I forgot how good of a hitter Cal Daniels used to be. I think, isn't 1987, or am I forgetting that? Am I getting that wrong? Isn't this the year that Benito Santiago had his really long hitting streak? I guess we can go look that up. Let's use this one here. He has like a 34-game hitting streak or something. 1987, Major League record for a rookie by hitting safely in 34 straight games. Okay. And he won the Rookie of the Year. So we'll have to make sure we look at that on the Padres. It said, excuse me. The Angels were the first team in the American League with 20 wins, and the Mets were the first team in the National League with 20 wins. Benito Santiago was a great catcher, and he was fast. I like catchers that are fast. Looking at you, Jason Kendall. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is also the year that the third year in a row that, or something, that Vince Coleman stole 100 bases. So I guess that's something else to watch. Yep. Will we have a 30-win team by the end of the month? It looks like we might. Maybe. Yes, the Blue Jays are the first team to 30 wins on May 27th. Wow. And the Indians are the first team to 30 losses. Yikes. All right, we're through May. Let's see. National League East, the Mets are leading at 29-18. They have a 1.5 game lead over the Pirates, 2.5 over the Cardinals and Expos, 6.5 over the Cubs, and 10.5 over the Phillies. Houston is 28-20 and leading the National League West. They have a 2.5 game lead over the Dodgers, 6.5 over the Giants, 7.5 over the Padres and Atlanta, and 9.5 over the Reds. In the American League, the Blue Jays are 34-13 and have a .723 winning percentage. And they're 8 games over the Tigers, 11 over the Yankees, Red Sox, and Brewers, 15 over the Orioles, and 16.5 over the Indians. The Royals are 29-17 with a 1.5 game lead over the Angels, 5.5 over the Mariners, 6.5 over the under 500 Twins, 8 over the Athletics, 10 over the Rangers, and 11.5 over the White Sox. Alan Trammell leads the major leagues with a .391 batting average from the Tigers. I love it. He also leads in OPS with a 1.187. Let's see. Cal Daniels is leading the National League with a .381 batting average. Jack Clark and Joe Carter are tied for the home run lead with 16 and the RBI lead with 48. Vince Coleman has 30 stolen bases through 2 months. Whoa. Let's see. They're saying Jimmy Key is the Cy Young for the major leagues with 9 wins and a 1.89 ERA. Mike Scott's still up there with 9 wins. Dan Petrie for the Tigers leads an ERA with a 1.33. That's not going to last. So, let's see. Did the hitting streak thing change? Sure did. Wade Boggs has a current 18, which is the high for the major leagues. Let's see. Alan Trammell's had an 11. Matt Noakes is on a current 8 for the Tigers. Larry Parrish for the Rangers is also currently on a 13. All right. Let's look at Eric Davis, because this is one of those years where he did something special. In real life, he had 37 home runs and 50 steals. So far in the replay, he has 14 home runs and 16 steals. We're going to change this because it's my replay, and I want to see what he would do with 600 at-bats. All right. I don't care what anybody says. Let's play June. By the way, the Tigers get a lot better on August 14th, or somewhere around that date. They get Doyle Alexander, who goes just off the rail for them. All right, Jack Clark and Joe Carter are over 50 RBIs now. Trying to keep an eye on that. And the Blue Jays are just jamming right now. Oh, the Twins are running. Look out. Don't let them get hot. Jack Clark is the first player to 20 home runs. Alan Trammell still hit, and Jack Clark is also the first player to hit 60 RBIs. And Trammell's hitting 393. Alrighty. And Trammell is still leading the major leagues in OPS. Toronto is the first team to 40 victories. They're 40-16. Wow. I mean, I know they're good. They were good. Trammell's over 400 in June. Nope, he just dropped it. He's chasing 400 in June. Let's just put it that way. And the Tigers are leading the majors in scoring with a 5.8. Let's go to pitching. See what happens. Jimmy Key. Okay. Dan Petrie's at a 2.88. I knew that wouldn't last. Mike Scott has 12 wins and 98 strikeouts. Mark Langston has 113 strikeouts. Mike Scott's actually winning the National League pitching Triple Crown at the moment. That sounds like a Cy Young season to me. Houston is also the first team in the National League to 40 victories. So that means kind of a lot. Especially if he continues to pitch like he is. Dave Smith is the first reliever to 20 saves. If you're into that kind of thing. Tigers are third in team ERA. Nolan Ryan has taken over for Mike Scott in strikeouts in the National League and ERA. So that's going to be a battle. They're both on the Astros too. That's kind of cool. No wonder they're 46-25. The Twins have had a fantastic June. They're pushing. They're over 500. Sorry for this, everybody. All right, so we're through June. Toronto's the first team to 50 victories. They're looking like they're going to win 100. We'll start with that division. The American League East. The Toronto Blue Jays are 52-23 and have a 9-game lead over the Tigers. Wow, 14 over the Brewers, 15.5 over the Red Sox, 18 over the Yankees, 19 over the Indians, and 21 over the Orioles. In the West, the Royals are 41-33 and have a half-game lead over the Angels. 3-game lead over the Mariners, 4.5 over the Twins, who are now back under 500. 5.5 under Oakland, or over Oakland, 7.5 over Chicago, and 12 over the Rangers. In the East of the National League, the Cardinals were streaking and are at 44-30 and have a 2.5-game lead over the Mets and the Expos, 6 over the Pirates, 7.5 over the Cubs, and 15 over the Phillies. And in the West, the Astros are 48-27 and have an 8.5-game lead over the Dodgers, 12.5 over the Giants and the Braves, 17.5 over the Padres, and 20.5 over the Reds, who are the worst team in baseball right now. Alan Trammell leads the majors at a .392 batting average. Look out. Jack Clark leads in home runs with 26 and runs batted in with 87. Vince Coleman has 58 stolen bases halfway through the season. Wade Boggs has a 462 on base percentage. Wow. Okay. Alan Trammell's the Major League MVP right now. Mike Scott's the Cy Young, and Jimmy Williams from the Blue Jays is the manager. That's for both leagues combined. Hitting streaks. Alan Trammell had a 20. We'll take it. And Kirk Gibson has a current 13. Here we go. In case somebody is watching, El Brujo with an 11-game hitting streak. Thought he played for the Giants. I can't remember. No, he plays. Yeah, I wonder if he's got 10 home runs. Matt Noakes ran that hitting streak to 18. So that's fun. All right. El Brujo only has 3 home runs. Oh, wait. That's real stats. Replay. Mark McGwire has 22 as the rookie. Okay. El Brujo in the replay here has 0. Where's Ricky? Ricky plays for the Yankees this year. And they're not doing anything, but he's still a fun player to look at. Replay, Ricky. 8 home runs, 22 steals. He's playing like crap. Okay. Where's Eric Davis at? For his numbers, since we raised his deal. 21 home runs, 25 stolen bases, and a 293 batting average. Cal Daniels is hitting 350. Come on. All right. Now, this is the year that Mark McGwire hit 49 home runs as a rookie. So maybe he can push that to 50. Who knows? All right. July. The Reds are the first team to 50 losses. I love the fact that the Astros are dominating the National League West. I like the Astros. Oh, I used to anyway. Back in the Astrodome days, before they wanted to become garbage men. A lot to keep an eye on here. And the Blue Jays are just dominating. It's surprising. Although the Astros are right there with them for how good they are. Okay, the Twins are hanging on. The Blue Jays are the first team to 60 wins. Still chasing 100. Big time, chasing 100. The way they're going, they're chasing 110. Looks like Nolan Ryan is the only standing in the way of Mike Scott winning the National League pitching triple crown. Dave Smith is the first reliever to 30 saves. Wow. Mike Scott has 17 wins in July, or through midway through July. He could win 25. The Reds are the first team to lose 60 games. They could lose 100. There's a few teams that are looking like they're going to chase 100 losses. Houston joins Toronto in the 60-win club before the end of July. Could the Tigers get there? They're at 58. The Tigers have 60 wins as well. Okay. And we're at the end of July. All right. Let's go take a peek. Okay, the Cardinals are leading the East, 58-43 over the Expos. They have a 1-game lead over the Expos and a 2.5-game lead over the Mets. The Pirates and Cubs are 10.5 back, and Philly is 17 back. Houston is running away with the West. They're 67-35. 14-game lead over the Dodgers, 15.5 over the Giants, 20 over the Braves, 23.5 over the Padres, and 26.5 over the Reds. The Reds are the only team with a winning percentage under 400. The Royals are 56-46 and have a 2.5-game lead over California, a 4-game lead over Minnesota, a 5-game lead over Seattle, 7-game lead over Oakland, and a 9-game lead over Chicago, 12.5 over Texas. This division is bunched with 4 teams. The National League East is bunched with 3, and then the other 2, because the American League East is all Blue Jays, 69-33, with a 5.5-game lead over the Tigers. It's a 2-team race here. And then Milwaukee's 18.5 back, Boston's 20 back, New York Yankees are 24.5 back, Cleveland's 26 back, and Baltimore's 26.5 back. Alan Trammell's still hitting .385 to lead the majors. Tony Gwynn's hitting .372. Mark McGwire, Jack Clark, Dale Murphy, and George Bell are all over 30 home runs. Jack Clark is the only player over 100 runs batted in with 107. Vince Coleman has 76 stolen bases through 4 months. And Andres Galarraga? That is not what I wanted to do at all. Yes. Andres Galarraga has 34 doubles. Okay. Nolan Ryan is still the only thing stopping Mike Scott from winning the National League Triple Crown, even though Scott has 18 victories. Whoa. All right. Look at the hitting streaks real quick. Tony Fernandez is currently on a 28-game hitting streak. Tony Fernandez. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see how far he gets. All right, midway through this month, we're going to stop it on August. We're going to go to August 13th, because that's when the Tigers get Doyle Alexander, is the next day. And we'll go back to hitting. The Blue Jays are the first team to 70 wins. No surprise there. The Astros are going to be right behind them. There they are, Astros at 70 wins as well. Tigers should be next to that particular milestone. Mark McGwire has 35 dingers at this point. Got to think Doyle Alexander is going to be a big deal in this pennant race with the impact he had. George Bell joins Jack Clark at 100 runs batted in. In doing so, he's the first player in the American League to do it. McGwire will soon be at 40 home runs. Let's see. Jack Morris with a complete game shutout of the Royals on the 13th. All right. Let's go see where things stand midway through August. And now they get Doyle Alexander to be part of their rotation. There he is. Look out. All right. Let's go see how far Tony Fernandez took his hitting streak. 30. He made it to 30. That's incredible. Carney Lansford with a 27. Currently, Keith Hernandez has a 12. All right. Alfredo Griffin with another 10. That's interesting. So let's finish out August. Go Tigers. And really, Royals or Angels, big time. Let's beat them Twins. Toronto is the first team to 80 victories. The Reds and Baltimore are tied on the same day for 70 losses. Oof. McGwire obviously is the first player to 40 home runs. He was at 39 for so long. Jack Clark has 118 runs batted in. Man, he's good. I like Jack Clark. The Tigers up here, 21-7 over the Indians. Trammell 406 with a home run. Wow. That'll do. Oh no! The Twins are in first place in the West. What has happened, Royals and Angels? Jack Clark has 127 runs batted in now. Man. Let's see. The Astros have joined the Blue Jays at 80 wins. They're both at 85. I missed it. Sorry. Okay, that's August. The Mets have a 1.5 game lead over the Expos and a 3.5 over the Cardinals. I'm not going to talk about the other teams. Houston has basically won their division. They're 88-43 and have a 21.5 game lead over the second place Giants. Toronto has a 7 game lead over the Tigers. And then in the West, we still have a dogfight between Minnesota, Kansas City, and California. Minnesota's in first, half game ahead of Kansas City, 4 games ahead of California. Paul Molitor has came out of nowhere to be hitting .394. McGuire's at 43 dingers. Jack Clark has 133 runs batted in. Vince Coleman has 95 stolen bases with a full month to play. Molitor's at a .483 on base percentage. Dave Smith has 40 saves. Nolan Ryan has 210 strikeouts. Mike Scott's at 21 victories with a whole month to go. Wow, I don't know who this guy is. Dunn? Mike Dunn? Mike Dunn for Pittsburgh is at a 2.31. All right, let's just check the hitting streaks real quick. Pat Tabler's currently at a 17. Okay. No other big things have happened since the last time we looked. All right, let's go play Oh, right. Let's not play September quite yet. Let's go see how Doyle's doing for the Tigers. 3-1. All right, I like it. 3-1 with a 2.57 ERA. That'll do. I like that. Okay. All right, let's play September. So we have, in my opinion, we have 3 teams that could hit 500 or 100 wins. 2 are pretty much a lock, and the Tigers are on the outskirts. And then for 100 losses, I don't see anybody making that. All the worst teams have kind of gotten a little bit better. So, of course, they could prove me wrong, but we'll see. This video is getting a little long, but hey, the Tigers are averaging 6 runs a game. You know how hard that is to do for a full season? Well, they just beat the Indians 22-0. Tom Brookins, 4 for 4 with 12 home runs. Wow. The Blue Jays are the first team to 90 victories. They're 91-43. Can McGuire get to 50 dingers? I guess that's one of our questions this season. H2O. Playing this as a request from my buddy whose birthday it is today. I hope this is the season that you wanted it to be, good friend. Jack Clark with 140 runs batted in. Paul Molitor and Alan Trammell and Tony Gwynn all in the 370s. Who will win that war of attrition? The Astros have 90 victories. And the Tigers are at 86. Technically, the Mets could still win 100, but I don't see it happening. They'd have to go 21-2 to finish the year. I guess it could happen. McGuire's at 47 home runs. And the Twins are opening up a lead over the Royals. Hey. Toronto, 97-44. McGuire, 48 home runs. All right. So now it's just the Astros. Well, the Blue Jays are the first team to 100 victories. So the Astros and the Tigers could still join them. And we're getting close to not having any opportunities to have a 100 loss team. The Tigers are 94 and 53. Trammell is now the only player. Oh no, Tony Gwynn just blipped back into the 370s. The Astros and Tigers are still alive for 100 wins. The Blue Jays now have 106 wins. It's a heck of a season. McGuire hasn't hit a home run in a while. I wonder if his usage shut him off. I hate usage. Oh no, there he is, 50. He's got 50 dingers. And there will be no 100 loss teams in this season. The Tigers and the Astros still have a chance at 100 wins, though. And Trammell is leading the American League in batting. Tony Gwynn is right up there with him for the National League. The Blue Jays have 108 victories. Oh, Lord. The Astros have made their 100th victory. And so did the Tigers. Wow. Fantastic. Let's go to October and just finish up the season. October 4th. McGuire has 53 home runs. Wow. If he had, he went cold for a little bit. A little too young to chase Roger Maris. Looks like the Twins are going to win the American League West. A weak record for a division winner. No surprises there. They suck. All right, season's complete. Let's go look at some records and numbers. The Expos and the Mets tied. So I think they have to have a playoff. But the Astros made the playoffs. Is it really just the division winners? Did the Tigers just win 102 games and not make the playoffs? Is that really how that's going to happen? Was it really just the two division winners? Oh Lord, it was. It's just the two division winners. So the Tigers win 102 games and missed the playoffs. Oh, this was a disaster because the Twins made it. Oh, what did Doyle end up doing? He did what he's supposed to do. 9-2. Man, they had three guys that chased 20 wins. Walt Terrell with a 5.66 ERA with 17-16. Man, win a few of those, will you? Chump. Man, what a disappointment. Okay. Tony Gwynn ended up looting. Let's just look at look at each league separately. Tony Gwynn with a 369 batting average. Andre Dawson with his 48 home runs. Jack Clark with 144 driven in. Vince Coleman, 118 stolen bases. Whoa. Dave Smith, 47 saves. Mike Scott, 24 wins. Okay, American League. Dave Stewart with a 2.87 ERA. Jimmy Key with 22 wins. Tom Hankey with 38 saves. Mark Langston with 281 strikeouts. Oh, I didn't look and see who did the strikeouts for the National League. Nolan Ryan with 257, so no 300 strikeouts. Back to the American League. Alan Trammell led in batting with 365. McGuire with his 53 dingers. George Bell, 152 driven in. Willie Wilson, 70 steals. Mark McGuire with a 654 slugging. All right. Tom Hankey with 38 saves. Okay, well, let's go see what the final hitting streaks were. Marty Barrett joined the 20 club. Okie dokie. What a disappointing season for the Tigers. 102 wins and don't make the playoffs. Pitching plus, no hitters, none. All right, let's look at batting. Triples, Tony Gwynn with 15. Andres Galarraga with 51 doubles. Wade Boggs, 139 runs scored. Charlie Hayes? Von Hayes. Von Hayes ties Wade Boggs for 123 walks. Rob Deere struck out 193 times. Oh. George Bell with 152 driven in. Tony Gwynn with 229 hits. George Bell with 398 total bases. We already talked about the stolen bases there. Wade Boggs with a 475 on base percentage. McGuire 654 slugging. Let's see, anything in here? Grounded into double plays. Sid Bream with 25. And the Incredible Hulk Downing with 20 hit by pitches. Okay, pitching. Roger Clemens and Brett Saberhagen with 21 complete games each. Charlie Huff with 22 losses. Raleigh's on here twice for some reason. Mike Scott with 5 shutouts. Fernando Valenzuela walked 130. That's interesting. Floyd Bannister with 49 home runs allowed. Pitching plus. Anything in here? Interesting. Charlie Huff with 18 hit by pitches. Jack Morris leads the way with 24 wild pitches. That's normal. And MVPs. Let's just do National League. Tony Gwynn is the National League MVP. And Mike Scott is the National League Cy Young. I like that. I'll take it. Although the Padres were in last, so technically he can't make it. So it's probably going to be Darryl Strawberry. We're going to give it to Darryl Strawberry. That's how we're going to do it. And in the American League, Alan Trammell deserves the MVP, yes. Tom Hankey gets the Cy Young over Jimmy Key, who won 22 games, and Jim Clancy, who won 20. Well, I guess 38 saves and 10 wins from the bullpen is impressive. So Jimmy Key and Alan Trammell, we'll take those. All right, but Tony Gwynn cannot win the MVP. I said it at the beginning. It was for Andre Dawson, but I'm not giving it to Tony Gwynn either, because where would they be without him? You know, further down. But yeah, we have to play a playoff game here. Well, I'll figure it out and it'll be part of the postseason because this video is long enough. There you go. What a disaster. I guess we're rooting for the Blue Jays. In a Blue Jays Astros World Series. Or how about Montreal Blue Jays? That'd be great. Even the Mets Blue Jays. No, anybody but the Twins. I've been Graz. I'll see you next time with something else.